Guys, Trump isn't even in the White House yet, and people are already trying to get their crap together. This just shows how important it is to have strong leadership in the White House and how much chaos happens when the people in power are known for not holding anybody accountable. Let's get into it. Welcome to my channel, Outspoken Samantha. I appreciate you being here, whether this is the first time you've come to my channel or you are a returning supporter. Please be sure to hit that thumbs up button, make sure that you are subscribed, and also that your notifications are turned on so that you never miss out on a conversation like the one we're about to have. I don't know about you guys, but I think for the most part, we're still reeling a little bit from the fact that Trump actually won the election last week. And not only that, that we actually learned the results of the election on the same night. Those were two big things that I don't think we were actually expecting to happen. Not because we thought that this election should be close in any way or that we understand that counting votes takes time, but because I don't know about you guys, but I was definitely expecting some of the same shady shenanigans from Democrats that we saw in 2020, like windows being shaded and ballots being delivered after everyone went to sleep and stopped watching the coverage. And then, of course, taking weeks and weeks to announce who actually won. So I think we were probably expecting more of the same and then some. And we were shocked to see things run relatively smoothly, almost too smoothly, in my opinion, which leads me to believe that poop is going to hit the fan at some point. We're not naive enough to think that some kind of blue storm won't erupt between now and January 20th, because the Democrats always have tricks up their sleeve and corruption up their sleeves, and everything they do tends to be a distraction from some kind of bigger plan of action. And that's not me trying to spread conspiracy theories or to spread fear, but just thinking in terms of what past experience has shown us and what a consistent pattern of behavior that the left has demonstrated has shown us. And based on what we've seen, I think it would be extremely naive to expect things to be smooth sailing going forward. So I'm just saying, keep your eyes and ears open. That being said, I also think a lot of us are feeling a huge weight lifted off of our shoulders, knowing that a president who has a proven track record of delivering a strong economy for all demographics of people, of all races, for both men and women, and for our youth who are just getting into the workforce. And this man is heading back to the White House, someone with a track record of establishing peace in areas of the world that are known to engage in conflict, for establishing a strong border and respect for our nation, and setting a path forward for all Americans to succeed. These are all of the things that we experienced under the Trump administration, so obviously this gives us a lot to look forward to. And after having lived 4 years under the disastrous Biden-Harris administration, anyone with a speck of sanity in their body is ready for what this man and his dream team will do to get the country back on track so that we can live our lives and hopefully get back to a place where we can feed our families, we can pay our bills, we can heat our homes, and only hopefully have to work one job per person in the household and reestablish that work-life balance that is something that I think a lot of us miss. What's interesting, though, is that we don't have to wait until January to see how effective Trump is in office, because people are already trying to clean up the house and pretend that they haven't spent their time since Trump has been away, wreaking absolute havoc on everything and everyone around them. Almost like grandpa has been in charge for the last 4 years and he's allowed the kids to run amok. He's let them have all of their friends over uninvited and unannounced. He's allowed them to eat him out of house and home. He's allowed them to break things and to harass the neighbors and bring down the property value in general. Now that they know dad is coming back, they're trying to pick up the mess. Grandpa's blaming the kids while the kids are blaming grandpa and saying that they were just doing what they were told. And though grandpa did try to exert authority and toughness by screaming and yelling once in a while, clearly nobody took him seriously. So what has been going on? This is an account from someone named Anne who has put together a collection of headlines of things that have been happening around the world as we're seeing the global impact of the announcement that Trump is going to be the 47th president of the United States, and people realizing that they're not going to get away with the crap that they've been getting away with for the last few years. This headline says, Russian president officially congratulates Donald Trump on becoming president of the United States. We're going to work with any head of state that is going to garner trust of the American people. This says President Putin says Russia is ready to restore relations with the United States. President Putin says Russia is not abandoning the US dollar. And Chinese President Xi Jinping says he's ready to strengthen relations with the United States. In a follow-up post, she says, European Union says it will purchase oil from the United States over Russia after Donald Trump's election victory. Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas says he's ready to work with Donald Trump toward peace. Hamas calls for immediate end to war after Trump election win. We saw a massive surge in the stock market. Numbers are going up increasingly at a record pace because people are recognizing that stability is in the future. Shortly after Trump's win, New York City announced that they are ending a food voucher program for migrants. It says New York City has announced it will no longer provide vouchers to migrants for food, ending a pilot program that has faced repeated criticism from conservatives and others. As we move towards more competitive contracting for asylum seeker programs, we have chosen not to renew the emergency contract for this pilot program once the one-year term concludes. The program has issued debit cards to migrant families in city-funded hotels, allowing them to purchase their own food. Although some viewed the program as an added expense, it was originally designed to reduce costs by eliminating the need to supply unwanted box meals. The city estimates the program was half as costly as the prior meal delivery service. However, the mayor's office did not provide a specific reason for discontinuing it. And in the comments, people have said, doesn't it feel like the world is healing? Right Angle News Network says, translation, our plan to use illegals as the new voter base to replace the American citizens is over, and now that we lost, they are no longer our problem. And this New York resident posted this videos about some of the things that he is seeing in his city already, and I just don't think it's a coincidence that all of this is happening after the Trump win. Let's have a listen.
You guys, since Trump was announced the winner, normally I live on Fordham, and normally on Fordham, all you see is like tables with tents and people just taking the whole sidewalk where you can't even walk. 42nd Street is full of criminals and shit. Since Trump was announced the winner, when I tell you our streets have been clean, our train system have been clean of people, and like you could walk in the sidewalks, like I can't even explain to you the feeling of peace that I feel and safety. Like it just feels so great.
Again, this is why having a strong leader in America in the White House actually matters. Our enemies stay in line. Global leaders come back to the table to have discussions, and they want to establish agreements with us where they stop causing problems in exchange for not feeling the wrath of the strongest country in the world, and hopefully being able to establish some kind of working relationship that benefits both parties. Corrupt officials stop abusing our systems and putting the burden of that abuse on us to deal with. Our streets become cleaner and safer. Of course, not all areas are going to see a huge impact because obviously your local government matters, like your mayor, your attorney general, and your governor. Those people are going to determine ultimately what your quality of life looks like, but their incompetent leadership will be limited to handling the affairs of their own citizens and not have to fail on a bigger scale by trying to manage and hide the impact of thousands of illegal immigrants that they can't afford to support. And they can just keep to focusing on the people that actually should be in this country. Having strong leadership is something that benefits all of us, even if you're someone who is currently swearing off men and shaving your head, because you get cleaner streets as well. You get safer cities as well. You get to pay less for groceries and gas and housing. You can probably buy more food for your cat and perhaps even afford to adopt another cat because you're going to need more company while you deal with the fact that you made yourself bald for a man. Who knows, maybe the cost of therapy will go down and the money that you save on food and housing and heat will help you cover the cost of your stay in an asylum. Just trying to help you see the positive side of things. But clearly, this is not an insignificant thing. We've had such weak leadership over the last few years, and the contrast is going to be stark, and I am here for it. I would love to hear all of your thoughts on this in the comments below. Please be sure to hit that thumbs up button. Make sure that you are subscribed. Keep it real, guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.